Hi, my name's Lofty, and I bounty hunt other players in Star Citizen, hunting the criminals of Stanton across the verse. The week started off just like any other. I was tracking a target doing Vaughn missions in the Belt. He was stripping weapons from a Connie, so I decided to land the Razor alongside, and I waited to strike. I took him out and collected the bounty just as usual, unaware of the shenanigans about to unfold. Has bounty hunting gone too far? You decide. So I was back at Grim Hex, and it was just like any other day. Targets were in and out of the station, but this one was heading for the hangars, so I did the usual, follow the guy and arrest him, collecting the 150k. I had this new Volt pistol, so I like to pretend it's like a taser to take people out non-lethally. Anyway, I got back into the elevator, heading back to the lobby for my next bounty, when I noticed something. There was another name on the elevator panel. I was sure I'd seen it before, so I checked the bounty list. And sure enough, there it was. So I hit the button, and it took me to the hangar. But there was a problem. The target was inside the Buccaneer. But even if you're in someone else's hangar, you can still take stuff from your own inventory. So I did what any sensible person would do. I took out my railgun, and I destroyed the ship. Is it time for CIG to address this? Has bounty hunting gone too far? Or do you think that if they're a criminal, then this is fair game? Anyway, it was time to make a daring escape, but the elevators always have the last laugh. So after recovering from the gravity void, I made it back to the ASUP terminals, and it was onto my next target. And I never really try and be incognito about what I'm doing. I'll even give people a chance to get the drop on me, but if they don't take it, then they're fair game as far as I'm concerned. I usually try and go for the melee arrest if I can, and admittedly, the repeated tasing afterwards probably is a little bit overkill, but I needed to make sure they got the message. It seems that other people with these Volt weapons had the same idea too, as this hunter had somehow beaten me into the hangar of the next target and was right there waiting. Anyway, we lit this guy up like a Christmas tree. It's always nice to see fellow hunters on the job. Always happy to see someone else snag the bounty credits, so well done to this fellow.
Good job, mate.
Another one bites the dust.
He's hunting game. Hey yo!
Yo. So I never really know if voice chat is working or not, and I think this is the first time I've actually heard anyone in game for at least a few patches. What are you doing?
No, ti sento troppo basso, forse quando sto qui.
He's behind you.
Sì, ma tu mi parli in inglese, ma io manco l'italiano.
No, seriously, look behind you.
Ah, ok.
Ah.
Wow. Yo, man. No, dove siete andati?
And again, if you're elevator hunting, just be aware that the target needs to be outside of the elevator when you apprehend them. Otherwise, it doesn't seem to count. So I was out in the Talon Shrike next, tracking another Connie in the clouds of Aberdeen. Now, I thought at this altitude we were in atmosphere, and I didn't want to fall to my death, so I pulled up vertically and started to get out of the Talon Shrike. And my intention was to fall onto the back of the cargo and sneak my way inside the ship. But the pilot had finished and had probably clocked my insertion and sped away, leaving me floating, but at least I was still in space. Back in the Razor again, and I was on my way to security post Korea. As usual, I parked outside the station and made my way in, with my Volt pistol in hand. I rushed the control room and managed to get a lucky peek on the head of this target. Rushing round, I finished the job and escaped before his teammate could even react. Back at Grim Hex, and I was trying to sneak my way onto a Polaris coming into land. I'd EVA'd my way over to the docking port, and I tried the door, and to my surprise, it was open. But, just as I was about to get into the airlock, the ship flew off at the last second. So far this week had been very hit and miss. So I switched out my scatterguns for size 2 attritions on my Razor, and boy does it seem to shred small ships now. But it was of course time to try and break into an Idris, which meant that they probably weren't the best tool for the job. But I persevered anyway. I spent an age pummeling the door with the lasers, and finally it opened. Now all I had to do was execute a perfect landing in the hangar. I respawned and made it back to the target's location, but someone had already destroyed the Idris. But the target was just floating in space. So I did what anyone else would do, and just picked up the bounty. I mean, I'd already done all the hard work, right? So I was tracking this Polaris at an asteroid base. It was trying to land or let out a fighter or something, so I decided to try and infiltrate. But again, the ship made a break for it, leaving me floating in space. I tracked it back to Everest Harbour and noticed that his hangar door was open. It was now or never. I needed to hit it before he got into the armistice zone, so I made a break for the opening. With the target down, I finally managed to board another massive ship and take the target down from the inside. That's all for this week. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. See you in the next one.